Okay, so I wanted to come together and record this because we were having a good conversation about grief, about death, about dying, all of that. And so I was saying that we don't teach people about how to grieve, whether it's the griever or whether it's the supporting someone who is grieving.
Yeah.
And I said, there's some etiquette that comes with grief that we're just not teaching and that we need to start teaching. So there's an acronym that I like to use because it's easier to understand acronyms.
Okay.
And so the acronym is HEART, like your heart.
For the person grieving or the person...
For the one supporting the griever.
Okay, yeah, because that's where the conversation was at for us, because we're grieving right now, real time, and I was coming across a lot of things that were frustrating me and making it challenging for me to grieve.
Right.
So you're saying... you pretty much told me don't, the people that are trying to support me are trying to do it honestly and earnestly, but they have no etiquette because they haven't been taught or trained.
Correct.
Okay, so you have an acronym that they need to focus on.
Right. And ideally everyone,
because
we're all going to be in a place of, at some point, either being the griever or supporting someone in grief.
That's true.
So even though it's geared towards the support, this video could be for everybody.
Okay.
So that when you're at the space of support, you know what to do and to help those who are grieving.
Okay, so you came up with an acronym.
Yes.
For people that are going to support. Okay, what's the acronym?
So the acronym is HEART. And it stands for exactly that, your heart. So H-E-A-R-T.
Okay.
H-E-A-R-T, your heart.
I can remember that.
And so the H stands for honoring the privacy. So a lot of times when someone transitions or sends, there's a need to ask, like, what happened or how did they die?
The details of the death.
The details of the death.
Like, right? I'm a mortician. Sorry, it's just it's triggering,
right? And so it's the details of the death, and so instead of, and some of it can also be nosiness, where people are only asking because they're nosy or because I don't know, they think that.
Well, I was told it's natural for people to be curious. That's what I was told.
Yeah, but curiosity doesn't need to be in death and dying. Like, curiosity can go away. Like, that's not what you want to do. You want to honor the privacy. So you don't need to explain. As a griever, you don't need to explain what happened.
What's the trick then?
One of the things that someone said, which I liked, is that you can say that their heart stopped. Or you can say they stopped breathing. They stop breathing or their heart stopped, which medically is true.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's true.
Like, medically, they stopped breathing. Medically, their heart stopped.
Yeah.
And you don't have to go into the details. If someone does begin to probe you more, then they're very nosy. They're trying to fish for more information.
Yeah.
Like, that's not about the griever. It's about the person, quote-unquote, supporting.
You know what? In a situation like that, if it's difficult for me, because I'm in the middle of my grief, now I have to manage you being nosy, I think the easiest thing for me, using that trick, would just keep repeating it like, I don't know, their heart stopped.
That's it.
I don't know, their heart stopped. And then eventually they're going to have to stop asking because she's not giving me any detail. Hopefully.
So then the E in the heart stands for echo the family's lead. Echo the family's lead. And so that also goes in the etiquette of posting on social media.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So a lot of times you'll get people who want to be the first to give out the information. For likes, for views.
Like,
all of that, for shares and all of that. And so, like, there's still sensitivity around grief. And so you trying to post a video, you trying to post pictures, like, let the family take the lead in what information they want to share about what just took place.
That's true.
Versus you trying to
get likes, views, shares, attention. And honestly, too, if that's not why you're doing it and you're just impulsively acting, take a minute.
Yeah.
Take a minute and check in with yourself and be like,
why am I doing this?
Yeah, why am I doing it? And is it okay if logically, if their family didn't even post?
Yeah.
You gotta respect that.
One would think.
Oh, God.
Once again, I want to do this video so people can understand the etiquette and what to do because we don't teach it. Okay, so let's move on to A. A is accept. You want to accept the silence. A lot of times people want to fill the silence with words, with TV, putting on music, because
distractions and
outward distractions, because people might be like internalizing what's happening, meaning the griever might need to process or think about or thinking about memories, and here you come blasting music when they've been in a silent state. So it's okay to accept the silence. It's okay to allow the person to cry. A lot of times people will stop people from crying because it's more about them than it is about the person crying.
Or even not just crying, even like being upset or angry or something like that.
Wanting to have to throw things or like physically get the emotion out of their body. Whether that's crying, whether that's throwing something, and within reason, right? I'm not saying like throw the kitchen apart, but if you need to, like, and I always tell people this too, if you need to get a pillow and scream in a pillow, if you need to go to the dollar store, get a couple of plates and go outside and throw the plates, do it. Make sure in all things that whatever you're doing, what's helping you is healthy. Always make sure that it's help. And if you can, get a supporter, like, look, I'm about to scream in this pillow. Can you just come over so no one thinks like anything is going on? Or I'm about to toss these plates. Can you just stand by as a shield so that nothing gets misinterpreted? And so, it's not always going to be crying. It may not always be needing to yell and scream. Sometimes it's quiet, and it's okay to accept those things and not try to put your stuff
or add fillers to it. Okay.
The R. The R is refrain. Refrain from saying statements or phrases that necessarily aren't helpful. For instance, be strong.
I hate that.
A lot of times people will say, like, be strong, or they're in a better place, or God won't put more on you than you can bear. What's another one?
Trust the process is another one I got.
That.
Trust the process. What process?
What is it too? Like, trust everything will work out.
Trust everything will that's another thing too.
Or like God's plans are higher. Like all of that, like
are automatic responses, and they're not necessarily coming from the heart. You're just thinking automatically. What can I say to fill up the silence? What can I say to fill up the space? And and it may not necessarily be helping. I know for me, it's frustrating when I hear "be strong," as if there's no strength and vulnerability.
Exactly.
Or in my heart, crying.
And not everyone can be in a place of vulnerability to allow that. And so the last one is tread lightly. So making sure that the griever can take the lead in the space. So if you need them it gets a little tricky, a little bit, but not so much. So in the tread lightly, you want to make sure that if you invite something, it's a gingerly invite, meaning there are some things that need to be taken care of, some business in depth that needs to be taken care of. So let's say like
a death certificate,
getting death certificates, right? Getting stuff like that. Like the person may not have the unction and desire, but you may have to like say like we need to now move to this place. But also tread lightly. If a person has not brought up God and religion, that's not the time to say.
That's true.
They'll be in a better place, or
God knows best.
God gonna get you through this. Whoa. Like I'm already in a place of not truly accepting what's happening spiritually, and you already taking me someplace that could be a trigger for something else. And one thing I also told you too, like what I try to tell supporters is try to envision that you are literally like holding the heart of the griever, so that let the heart break as it needs to break. There's 4 chambers of the heart. It's okay if you allow that heart to kind of break, because a lot of times, and I say this in grief is not about a head thing. It's not about, like, they know the person isn't here. They know they can't call the person. They know it mentally. Logically. But internally, emotionally, it's still having to reprogram the, I'm feeling sad right now. I can't call the person that used to bring me joy because they're no longer here. And so allowing you to cultivate the heart of the person versus everything else about the person.
Yeah, because to your point, you just said, imagine you're holding someone's heart in your hand, but you're over here trying to logically hold their heart in the hand. You know, it's not heart-to-heart connection. Now we're talking a head-to-heart connection, and that's where people start fumbling. And that's where, you know, you get triggered, and, you know, people may just shut down or not accept your support. And, you know, you be trying to do it earnestly, but now we have etiquette.
It's a little something I think that we can share.
No,
so
we need it. Because
we can start teaching about it. I think as a society, we have done a lot of disservice by not teaching people about how to support grief. We just haven't done it as a society.
Yeah. But now we have a acronym called HEART.
Hearts.
That helps the supporter with etiquette on how to support in the holding of the heart of the person that's grieving.
I like that.
That's what you said.
I like that.
I would like my heart to be held properly.
As we all do. So thank you. Hopefully this is helpful for everyone and more videos to come.
Thanks, Dana.